Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's resume our complete beginner's guide to RimWorld, shall we? Picking up where we left off, and I'm going to speed up the game so we get through it. When they're just sleeping, we're not doing much. Doodaloo. So, it is good, let me pause it for a moment to talk, or I'll just put it on speed 1. It is good always to just check in the upper left when you resume your game, as I'm doing now. We have 38 meals, which is good, but that's because we start with a bunch of packaged survival meals from our ship, and that's going to dwindle, so we need to start cooking or hunting, and, well, both, preferably, but I meant growing. So we're going to need to grow our crops here to get food coming in. We can always hunt if we want, and here's how you hunt. You can just click this wildlife button in the middle, and then, like, there's these wild boars around us. They will never attack back, so you could just check one, and if you click on it underneath this bow column, that means they will attack it. The hand column means they'll go try to tame it, to domesticate it, and, the boars are easy. The capybaras, I feel terrible killing them, but they're easy. And don't attack anything right now that will fight you back. 100%, they're going to come get us. We do want to be careful of cobras and anything with this predator icon, the panther, for example. You can double click on it to see where it is, and it is outside of our base. It's below it. Another reason that we want to have some protection in this rainforest. You won't always have predators on your map, but if you do, be careful. Now I'm going to pause it because Four Eyes is awake. Now you'll notice these negative Z bubbles above them. That means their sleep was disturbed by this person getting up and opening the door. So as soon as we can build like a better barracks with, or even private bedrooms is preferred, that kind of stuff will happen, but it's not the end of the world. And here's a few things that we want to do right away. So this is the only door that we have into our base. So this means when an event happens, there's a very high likelihood that we get attacked by raiders or something like that. And they will come for your doorway. So what we want to do is, if you don't have a door, then they'll just come to the path of least resistance towards your base. So like if they come in up here and there's no wall, then they'll just come straight for your base, straight for you. If they're down here, they'll come this way. But if they see a wall, they will go towards the door first. So what we're going to do is go to architecture, and we're going to go to security, and I'm just going to build a simple barricade. So we're going to build wooden barricades around the front of our base. Now what's nice is we have this kind of mountain wall, so we really only have to worry about people attacking us from down here and over here. So we could very easily construct a nice little barricade right here around the front of our base to take down any idiots who wanted to come and fight us. And we could do that by just going like this. And going like this. Now, people can walk over the barricade. It does slow them down. But for now, I'm just going to build something like that. You don't have to build it like this. You could actually, if you wanted to, just build it like this and get rid of that up there, and that's fine. But what we're doing is we're building a barricade so that our shooters can, crouch behind this barricade and shoot from cover at anybody that comes in. Later, we're going to build a Killbox, which is a kind of defense system where we put in walls and we force them to come through a narrow passageway, triggering a whole bunch of traps while they're getting shot at along the way. We don't need that just yet. I'm going to build just a simple barricade structure like this to give our shooters a chance. So that's coming in. We have a barricade there. We could hunt if we wanted, but we don't have a good way to prepare that meal. Oh, okay, and Four Eyes is going to put in the floor while these people are sleeping. That is charming. So instead of that, I'm going to right-click and tell you to go work on the barricade. Let them sleep, for the love of God. I'll speed it up. And it's telling us we need defenses, but here they come. And we need a meal source. We have no way of preparing proper meals from raw food, which means we need to make a kitchen, which is going to be a next objective of ours. And if we wanted to, we could build a kitchen up here pretty easily, or even right up here pretty easily. We have these rooms that are kind of already built in even before we get our mining done, based on these nooks in the mountain, which is nice. You can use these natural walls. So we can go to architecture and we can build some wooden walls. And we can just make, you know, a nice room up here and a room up here. And we'll put in doors like this and like that. Perfect. All right, the flooring is coming in. So these barricades are almost done. This rock is in the way, so we have to mark it for hauling. So if you want this rock to get moved, you have to click on it and mark it for hauling, and they'll put it, you know, in your... Well, they'll put it in this stockpile, which is not great. We don't really want chunks and stuff like that to go right here. Actually, what we can do is we can click on this. We can click on storage, and we can start to customize this. So chunks are stone chunks like that, for example, and they don't go here. So where are we going to put that? Well, let's just make a stockpile out here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a new stockpile, architect zone stockpile, and we'll put it like right here. And this stockpile, I'm going to click on it. I'm going to go storage, and then I'm going to say clear all. This isn't for anything. And I'm going to say, actually, can you put chunks in there? So they'll put chunks in there. And also, can you put corpses in there? This is kind of our trash pile. And so if there's like just corpses stinking up the place, they'll put it here. Now, we might want to properly bury corpses later, and especially for our colonists if they die. But for now, we can get dead bodies and rocks out of here. And now, because you see how we bumped up Kiyu's priority to 2? Remember when we bumped up her priority to growing to 2? Now that will supersede her mining as long as there's growing to do. And now she's planting our crops, which we definitely want. Four Eyes is going to work and is hauling away the rock. She actually just kind of moved it out of the way temporarily. She's chopping down the tree just to finish this barricade, which is cool. She is not good at this job of chopping down the tree. Now, something that's also fun is if you look at Four Eyes, for example, and you go to their needs, you'll see that they slept in an awful barracks. It was a horrible room and they had to share it, so they did not like it. They also didn't like sleeping on the ground. So these two things are the main contributors to their unhappiness. They also don't like eating without a table, and they don't like the fact that their sleep was disturbed. Now, we built beds. We're trying to finish another bed, and this will help our sleeping situation. I'm going to go to architect. I'm going to go to flooring. You know... One second. Do I want to continue building? Yeah, okay, this is fine. Never mind. All right, I'm going to build a floor right here. Sorry, I was just following a different thought train. I like to have a floor also under the door just to keep it tidy in here. And then you can see there are all these different toggles down in the bottom right that you can toggle for example, beauty. And you can see that this is minus 0.8 beauty in here. And you can see what gives positive beauty. The flooring being dirty or not finished is a detractor. But also these walls are a detractor. They don't like that. So what we can do is we can smooth the surface. So we could tell them to smooth these walls. Now they're also going to smooth the floor, but we don't want them to smooth the floor. We want them to put in wooden floor. So I'm just going to cancel this and this and this. But if they smooth the wall, it'll make it much more desirable in there. And that is what contributes to that awful barracks, like the rating of the room, the quality of the room. If you put artwork in there, decorations, chairs, and then the quality of the furniture itself, all the space, the size of it, all of these things contribute to them enjoying it. Four Eyes is doing great. And the barricade is done. We did it. You can see the rice field is planted. If we click on this, you can see the growth rate, and you can see how far along it is in terms of being grown. So it's doing fine. Four Eyes is now building up here. Very good. And it's getting roofed. These trees, though, are blocking this from being completely roofed in. And something we could do, if we wanted, just as an experiment, let's go to architecture. Let's just go to orders. I'm sorry. Yeah, here we go. Architect, orders, and smoothing again. And then let's just click all of this and just tell them to smooth this whole thing. They will smooth all of the stone, and then this dirt is not something we could smooth. I don't know if you saw that right there, but Four Eyes, let me go to biome. Their plants just leveled up to 1. Just doing what they're doing. So, cutting down trees, they're leveling up. And if we click on Kiyu, for example, you could see that her mining is improving as she goes. All right, excellent. Oh, something happened. A counselor is visiting the colony, and his name is Daniel. So jump to location, and here he is right here. So he's coming in, and he's going to visit us. So we can just follow his path. I'll probably come up through here. And we could talk to this guy. So this guy is just coming to visit. Well, Danny has a gun. So whenever somebody comes, they might want to trade whatever. If they're just hanging out and you want to talk to them, always go to your bio and see who has the best social. We have 4, 4, and 1. So anybody who's just, able. Let's just have this person go down, and no, they don't want to do anything. They usually have a question mark if they want to do something. They're just hanging out. They don't have anything to trade, and they would engage us if they did want to talk to us. And if they had something to do, if we selected one of our colonists and right-clicked on them, there would be a command to interact with them, but there isn't. So they're just visiting. They're just checking it out. They're probably casing the joint. Okay. Now you see how they're sleeping down here? I'm going to tell them to sleep in these beds, but you see they say unowned on them. I'm going to click on the bed. I'm going to click set owner, and then we can just say, hey, here you go, Ignat, and then, hey, set owner, Four Eyes. Actually, set owner Kiyu, like that. And then they'll wake up and they'll get in their bed. Now, did I not build another bed? Maybe I only built 2. Here we go. I'm going to click this bed. I'm going to say build copy, and I'm going to just click right there. And then Four Eyes, can you build this bed really fast? There. That woke them up, of course, but we're going to set owner and Four Eyes. So I'm going to kind of just take down some of these random sleeping spots. And now we have some extra spaces, but everybody's got a bed at the very least. All the fields are planted, by the way. We've got strawberries, we've got corn, we've got rice. Fantastic. This is built, and we can check to see if it's roofed or not. You can click down here. There's a button that's visibility of roof, and so this is not actually done yet. So this is completely roofed in. This needs to be finished. Now, the issue here might be that it's too much space, and we have to build some like columns to keep the integrity of the roof. So I could just say structure, and I could build a column, and you could see if I want to build a column, the radius of it, like, and so, or the area of influence for it. So if I build it like there, that should allow the entire place to be roofed in, and then it would be indoors. I'm going to speed it all the way up. And what's she doing? She's awake and she's doing stuff. Okay. Just gathering stuff. And we got a gift. And they left some lizard skin tribal wear. So the person who was visiting decided that we were cool and left us this tribal wear. Cool. Thank you. So that's one of the nice things about being near cool people. Factions that aren't going to kill you is that they send gifts. The other factions are going to send murderers. So we'll watch out for that fun. Chiyu is chopping down this tree so that I think she can finish planting. And indeed, now that she's done planting, she's going to go inside and mine. Now, this is done. The column got finished. So let's see. Yep, and now the roof is finished. Perfect. So we're going to need to do the same thing. I'm just going to click on the column, and I'm going to click O or click this button to build a copy. And, well, let's wait to see. This actually should be roofed. We might be okay because it's so narrow right there. Now, this smoothing job, I'm going to click on the roof toggle again. The job for smoothing, let's look what that is under. So, craft is stone cutting, smelting. Art is removing paint, painting the floor, making things. Mining is not smoothing. Construction is smoothing walls and floors. Okay. So we would need to bump up people's construction, which I will, so that they will start doing that. So you can always go to the work and then just mouse over each of the different categories here to see like what task falls under that umbrella. If you want something to get done. And they're going to roof in the whole thing. So this whole thing is done. And if I click roof, we're gold. So now we have just 2 extra rooms. Just like that. And we're going to go to do a few things here. I'm going to go to architect, production. I'm going to drop in a butcher's table right over here so that if we hunt, we can butcher the animal. And I'm going to put in a fueled stove on the other side. So the fueled stove uses, well, fuel to cook, so wood. I'm putting them far away so that we don't have some contamination issues, which we probably will anyway, but we can wall these off and make separate spaces. And this looks decent. So we have a stove, a butcher's table. We're going to want a research bench eventually. But also, let's go ahead and just create furniture and a table right there with some dining chairs. 1, I'm rotating with E, 2, 3. And let's give them a nice place to eat. And also, while I'm in here, I'm going to build some shelves. And I'm just going to kind of start bringing stuff inside. With a lot of shelving. Like so. And we're going to need a wall torch. There. And there. And then one here and here. And back there. Perfect. Turn off the roof. So that's a lot of stuff, but these rooms need to be lit. And they are smoothing. And this is going to be, with our bad construction, this is going to take a while. However, it's going to help us level up and deal with smoothing, which we're going to be needing to do a lot of if we want to have these be rooms. Now we have a negative event going on. First of all, we have a minor break risk, which means this person is in a bad mood. So check their needs. What happened? Their sleep got disturbed. That was a bad night last night. We can all agree. Slept in the heat. It's getting hot. So we're going to need to start taking care of the temperature. They're sweaty in general. It is 88 degrees. And they got rebuffed. They tried to make the moves on someone, and they still hate their barracks. So, not great. We need a meal source, which will be our stove. And we have an issue of a mad rat. And a local rat has gone mad. It will attack everyone it sees. So we're going to jump to the location. Here it is. It is probably coming right for us. I'll unpause it and see what it's up to. Yeah. So, let's see if it gets any closer. And it is. It's coming right for us. So it's time to talk about the military. I'm going to just drag and select everybody. And I'm going to push R to draft them into the military. You'll hear that little drum roll. When they're underlined, their names up here with the boxes, that means they are drafted. And I'm going to move them by right-clicking into position behind the barrier. Now, they might not make it here by the time the rat arrives, but we will find out. Actually, the rat may be dead. We'll see. Now, here it comes. So this is the Manhunter rat, and everybody's going to start taking shots at this thing. Now, we're not very good, so we missed. I'm going to move them back, and we're going to just have you melee attack like that, and he stabbed it, and it's dead. Okay, so the problem solved. So we weren't good enough with our guns to hit them, but it's over. And now that it's over, I'm just going to select everybody, push R to undraft them, and they'll go back to doing what they were doing. We have a corpse right here to take care of, and we'll get there at some point. That is the Panther. That's a little scary. The Panther, we may have to try to hunt it because it's so terrifying. But it generally should hunt other stuff instead of us. Hopefully. Alright, table, chairs going in. Workbenches going in. Ignat is upset. Now, inside, you see it's 84 degrees. It's a little cooler outside, unfortunately. All right. So, because it's so hot, we're going to have to seriously consider getting some air conditioning for preserving our food, and also for cooling things down. So that's going to take wind turbines. Now, we already know how to build a wind turbine in this scenario, and we can hook it up, but we want batteries to sustain us. So that's going to mean that we need to go to production and build a research bench. Now, we don't want to build it out of steel, but we have no wood. So we're going to wait until we get some more wood, and that's easy enough. We've got trees everywhere. Let's just go ahead and give the order to, chop down some wood. And actually, while we're on that, I think this idea of smoothing the floor is just going to take too long because our people are not good at this job. So we're going to go to cancel, and we're just going to cancel all this. The wall smoothing we're going to keep, but the floor smoothing is just too difficult at the moment. It'll be so much easier for us to just build wooden floors, but it's going to take a lot of wood. So we're going to go to flooring and then just drop in, wooden floor here and wooden floor here. Oh, but not out here. There. Okay. Now, even though we don't have the research table and we don't have batteries, I'm going to go ahead and also just drop in a wind turbine. Now, the wind turbine produces power, and they produce a set amount of power provided there's wind flow. And you see these boxes on the north and south of this wind turbine. These areas need to be clear of trees so that you can guarantee a stable flow, an uninterrupted flow. One of the easiest ways to guarantee that is to just set fields there in front of it and behind it so that they will already be getting rid of trees. So I can just build this here, and then for now, we'll just go ahead and make sure that there's nothing here, and we can also get rid of these plants, and we can go architect, cut plants, and just be like, hey, can you get rid of this stuff? And there you go. All right, so we got a lot of stuff sorted out here. Oh, okay. So sometimes you'll get notifications up at the top of the screen. And this one says that chunks of a spacecraft have landed nearby. And so we're just going to select them with X. And then just tell them, you'll see the little construction symbol, the staircase. That means they're going to come break this apart so that we can get the materials, which is usually steel and components. And these are all very, very good things for us. The windmill, the power, all of the stuff that we want to get is going to, that's technology-wise, is generally going to take a lot of steel. But luckily, it's not as hot right now. It's like 69 right now. So we're not as worried about it being hot. And even this guy, if we go to his needs, he's feeling better. He got rebuffed by both of the women, which he doesn't like. They'll try to date and stuff like that. They can get married, but it's not going well. However, look, the dining room was considered decent, even though it's going to take a long time. They still just love having a chair and a table, so that's a big plus. The barracks is god-awful. So here's what I'm going to do. Since it looks like you'll be here for a while, Ignat thinks you should give your faction a name. What should it be called? Well, how about, we'll call it the Pact of Incompetence. And then we're going to call it the Tutorial Town. Okay. This room is done. So our miner has finished this, and that is good. And they are now out here, harvesting trees and getting the wood for the rest of the building. That's good. This is not going to be our priority anymore. We're going to make sure we get food set in, get our farming squared away, and then get our workshops constructed. You can see that we have these shelves here now. And what I like to do is, this is where we're going to be eating. So let's go ahead and just say clear everything. And then I would like you to put packaged survival meals in here because they can never go bad. And that feels pretty good. And then I'm going to go to priority and say that this is actually, preferred is better, but I'm going to say important. Keep all the meals right here. Now, these are just the early meals. They're going to start using the rest of these shelves for everything. You see they're putting like logs and stuff on them. There we go. They're building the wind turbine. Excellent. Perfect. So we are absolutely rocking and rolling. We have a dining room coming in. We have our kitchen and butcher being put in. We're going to probably section this off to prevent contamination and also build a freezer or at least a refrigerator to store supplies and food and things, keep them from going bad. And we defended against our first little threat. Got a gift from someone that looks like we brought it in. Maybe somebody is wearing it. I'm not sure. Or they just put it over here. And everyone, I hope you're still finding this series to be useful and fun. We have a lot to do. And I'll check you in the next episode. Take care.